I don't know what this actually gives me. Oh, that was a problem. That was a lot of phone droppage. But because it's so early, I got opportunity. Look at my babies. Look at my baby. Oh, mama kitty. Come here, oh, mama kitty. That's my mama. Yeah. Oh, she's a skittish old lady. Found her as a completely feral cat with her mom, who we call Grandma Kitty. Grandma Kitty was real skittish and standoffish, would barely come near us. And then we managed to get this one, and we got her inside. Problem is we got her inside after like a year, and she was pregnant and had that one. She's been inside since like 2 weeks after birth. She's been inside for since she hit about a year old. Because we weren't allowed to have kitties. We weren't allowed to have any animals. And now look at my baby. She's been inside like 3 months. Oh, yeah. So my room. This is just a towel because I spilled something. Uh, Need to clean up over there because I fucked up the litter box. That's just got a bunch of shirts I still need to sort through and get away. But I got these boots. I kind of like them. I just wish I could fit them. I also got these ones. Boots. So, how's it going, everybody? It's Sandwich Pants here today. I don't know how loud my microphone is coming through. I'm trying not to make a whole lot of noise because my roommate is still asleep. It is Sunday at like 9 o'clock in the morning. My roommate works from the afternoon to late at night. So, him being up at 9 o'clock is not something I anticipate. Uh, so, I'm going to try and keep this one a little bit short, but I need more time than just an actual short. And I can't do videos until I go buy a new computer case and get stuff swapped around. The point here is I need to go over a few things. For one, I'll do the news thing now, but I'm also going to make a short about it because I don't know how many people are actually going to click on this. The government has managed to avoid a shutdown by bipartisan legislation that currently seems to leave the Ukrainian aid off the table. And Biden is not happy about this. He's like, no, we're not leaving aid on the table. So we have a 6-week extension on the debt ceiling or whatever the fuck it was they were arguing about. I'm pretty sure it was budgetary things. So Biden's going to be fighting to keep Ukraine aid on the table, which is very important. We cannot allow Russia to take over Ukraine because if they do, then they will be right up against Polish borders, and then he'll just keep, NATO's aggressing and keep trying this shit. Putin himself needs to be gotten rid of in a serious manner. He needs to actually be dealt with in a serious political manner, whether by his own people, by Ukrainian forces, whatever it is. He's got to go. He just has to. He's a threat to the world's safety and security, not just Ukrainians, not Americans. I mean, kind of, but the world's. So we've got this 6-week extension on the shutdown line. That's almost nothing. Almost nothing. They got to buckle down and keep Ukrainian aid on the table. McCarthy is probably going to get replaced as speaker because his party is mad at him for siding with some Democrats. Because McCarthy's actually, he's dumb, but he's not entirely dumb the way the rest of them are. You know, Republicans are just brain dead. Okay. Uh, Next bit, TYT and why they're bad. Yeah, TYT, the Young Turks, the lefty, supposedly lefty YouTube channel, left-leaning YouTube channel, home of progressives. Let's see. they've had they've had a few people that have worked with them. There's a couple that still do right now that I'm not entirely sure where they're sitting on the rightward push that TYT has decided to do. But you got like John Idarola and J.R. Jackson, and they're two contributors that I've never really heard say anything super negative. I don't really listen to the Damage Report, which is the show that Iarola's on, and J.R. Jackson. I just never. He just shows up randomly across the entire spectrum of TYT. Yes, well, my two kitties. I'm showing them off. At least I did in the beginning. So, with aside from John Idarola and J.R. Jackson, the issues I'm seeing with TYT right now are A, their rightward push. Anna Kasparian, like a year ago, was talking about how inclusive language for gender nonconforming people, trans mask people, non-binary, like with a birthing person being used for people who have wombs and can give birth, but don't identify as women to include them. She was saying like a year ago how it's important to use language like this and how it's not an issue, and then she turns around a year later and just blatant grift mode on it. No, 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 Anna. I don't know what the fuck's happening in TYT Studios. I'm going with the Vosh theory of there's a gas leak, but this is the first point in TYT being bad. Uh, what I think is Anna either had a gas leak in the studio, or she recognized because there's some deep personal insider knowledge that I've heard about from other people who would have very good sources, very reliable information on it. TYT's been losing a shitload of money. They're not making money at the moment, at least up until Anna started doing her right wing grift, and Jank just trails along behind her because I mean, Jank is loyal as fuck. He will guard dog and protect Anna as much as he possibly can. So that's one thing. For two, I think this has always kind of been in the cards with them because if you think about some of the past people they've had as contributors, some of the big names that they've put out. We'll go from least bad to most bad. And I think least bad right now is actually kind of a toss up for two reasons. And I can get into those reasons. I'm just going to put the names out and then the reasons why I think it's a toss up. Hassan Piker and Dave Rubin. They're both equally as bad, but they're not as bad as the other people. Why Dave Rubin and Hassan being in that slot? Okay. Dave Rubin is so incredibly retarded that his advocacy has done literally nothing. His rightward grift content hasn't produced more people going, "Oh yeah, Dave Rubin's the reason I turned to the right and became a fascist. He was a classical liberal," and that nobody cares. Nobody cares about Dave Rubin. So him leaving and being a right winger and pushing in the shit that he has, nobody fucking cares. He's pretty much irrelevant at this point. Even people who used to watch TYT don't really remember who Dave Rubin is. Between him being very, very bad at his job and being absolutely mogged by Sam Cedar on a regular basis, just completely obliterated, his relevance is fell off. He's not a big deal anymore. Now Hassan, why is Hassan in the least bad category with Dave Rubin? Because Hassan's not the same kind of retard that Dave Rubin is, all right? Dave Rubin is actually brain damaged, probably sat outside in the sun for way too long as a child, no sunscreen, no hat, smacking his head against a fucking concrete wall. That's Dave Rubin. Hassan is a little bit more um, more of a pussy because Hassan refuses to push back against the tankies in his audience, the people who run out and defend, genocides committed by China or the USSR or any other country that just has the word socialist or communist in its leading party's name. The Chinese Communist Party is not, or it's the Communist Party of China, yeah, the CPC. They are not communist. They're at best neoliberal, at worst currently fascist. I believe currently fascist, and Hassan defends them. Hassan has been saying things like how Taiwan is just a part of China and how it needs to go back to reunification, which goes entirely against what Taiwan is pushing for. Taiwan is pushing for status quo, which is de facto independence. They don't want to have a bloody conflict over their independence because it wouldn't be worth it. They already consider themselves independent, and enough nations treat them as a separate nation from China that they could go on for decades more being in this current position. Not an issue. uh, but yeah, Hassan doing the defense of fascist nations is the reason that I'm putting him there. He's a pussy. He will not defend his morals, or he won't push back against people with bad ideas. He doesn't like debate, and all the people who hate debate because of Destiny and Vosh went over to his audience, and most of those are retard tankies. They are fascists. Tankies are just fascists using red aesthetic. They like communist aesthetic. They like the hammer and sickle, and they like to talk about the worker. And then all of their policies are, well, yeah, government control, and governments will control the corporation. And if you are dissident to the government, then you get disappeared because you're counter-revolutionary. You're just a fascist, bro. Shut the fuck up. You're just a fascist, okay? Oh yeah, people with bad ideas have tons of money, and I hate it. But that's why the TYT network has been pushing right. Now to move away from Hassan and Dave Rubin because those are just two of the people. We already touched on Anna, so that's three people. We got two big other ones that are bad. Michael Tracy. Michael Tracy is fairly irrelevant in the long run right now, but he was one of the loudest fucking voices. He popped up again around the Ukraine debate, gained a lot of prominence, getting supported by tankies and fascists. I repeat myself, but people who use communist aesthetic and people who are just outright fucking far right wing people, they both came out and supported Michael Tracy when he's debating Vosh against on Ukraine. And Vosh was absolutely correct because I mean he's not retarded like Michael Tracy is, but this is an issue that you've got. Michael Tracy is a very far right uh, 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 journalist, an actual journalist, and so he's got some pretty decent reach. Like he's not irrelevant the way that Dave Rubin is. He's not, but I mean he's not as relevant as Hassan. And the reason that I'm putting Hassan in the not worst category the least bad category is because Hassan actually does have some progressive values that he will still push for and uphold, like LGBTQ rights. His economic positions and a bunch of his other positions have shifted over towards the tanky side because he doesn't kick them out of his audience and they influence him because he's too much of a pussy. He wants to be big, rich, famous celebrity e-boy, but he tied himself to lefty aesthetics, and so the group he gets right now is tankies, and they're bad for him. They really are. This is why Hassan will never sit down and debate Vosh. He won't. He won't do it because he'll get fucking obliterated, and his audience will get mad at him. I used to like Hassan a lot. I'm still subscribed to Hassan. I'm hoping he turns around. I do, because Hassan actually was somebody I watched more than I used to watch Vosh, but I watched Hassan back when I watched Destiny at the same time. So I'm kind of. Anyways, uh, we got to deal with Hassan as such. Michael Tracy, he needs to rock. I don't know. I don't know what to do with Michael Tracy. He's been debated. His relevance has fallen off a lot, but he's still a dangerous individual. And then we've got the worst person to come out of TYT, the absolute worst person that TYT has given a platform to, upheld, and Cenk has even defended up until Anna was mad at him for a completely different thing and then came out with the sexual harassment stuff. And even then, Cenk downplayed it. So Cenk I thought you were kind of scuzzy for a bit, especially, I mean, I've seen a lot of the old stuff that you said, and yeah, people grow and change and stuff, but your opinions haven't changed that much since you were talking about shit back in 2000, the early 2000s, 2003, 2005, 2008. You haven't changed that much. The home of progressives is the kind of progressivism that you would have been in 2000s, 2007, 2008, 2009, not the kind of progressivism that we need today here in 2023. So, Cenk, I mean, Cenk is an old school progressive, not not the progressive type that we need. Uh, but yeah, Jimmy Dore, the worst individual to come out of TYT. Now I don't know how my audio really is. Like I said earlier, I can't speak too loud because I don't want to wake up my roommate. But yeah, no, Jimmy Dore, the fucking worst individual to come out of the entire network. Jimmy Dore is one who pretends to be a leftist. He doesn't even actually hold any of these values. He pretends to be a leftist, to be able to push people to fascism. It's an actual active effort on his part to use rhetoric that would sound kind of left-leaning to get people on board with right-wing ideas. This motherfucker came out with the pro-ivermectin, anti-vax, COVID denialism, fucking election fraud bullshit, the uh, defense of Russell Brand, defense of Tucker Carlson, calling Tucker Carlson a fucking socialist. That right there, immediately, I knew that Jimmy Dore was fucking. I've been saying it for over 2 years on this channel. Jimmy Dore is goddamn retarded, and he's a right wing grifter. There's nothing that he's come out with that in any way resembles a leftist position, except for uh, Medicare for all pushing. And that's it. That's the only thing that this motherfucker has. Oh, and I guess tax cuts. He really likes his tax cuts. Like those are the only two positions you really seem to hear about. I've stopped watching Jimmy a long time ago. Yeah. Jimmy Dore has said that Tucker Carlson is a socialist. He said he's a working class socialist. The fucking multi-millionaire heir to the Swanson food fortune. The guy who, when his dad dies, is going to take over a family business that isn't, that's a multinational corporation. Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy Dore actually said that. You cannot trust people like that. The entirety of the TYT network has just produced fucking terrible individuals in this regard. There's actually one more that just came out, just left TYT not that long ago, and this is another reason that Anna is higher up on the list of bad than other people. Benny Carollo. Benny was a contributor, editor, and actual like journalist for TYT, one of the actual journalists, not a pundit. And well, she came out transition and had told Anna about this like 2 fucking years ago. Anna's had plenty of time for this. But when Benny decided to leave over TYT's transphobia, as well as TYT actually being on the correct side of the Ukraine-Russia conflict, you know, the actual leftist side, something I will applaud them for, Benny left, and the going away message, Anna immediately misgendered Benny. Like, Anna, you've been dealing with the knowledge that Benny is trans for like 2 years. You should have had this one down already. It's not like a fucking 3, 4 day thing where I can kind of understand some slippage. It happens. Not a 2 month thing, not a 3 month thing, not a 5 month thing. 2 years. There's no excuse for you to have misgendered Benny at that point. But Benny comes out and starts. Okay, for one, I recommend everybody go watch Benny Carollo versus Charlie Kirk on Charlie Kirk's debate night. Benny claims to be a socialist, a communist. Benny doing the thing that all the dumbfuck tankies do, going out and defending ethnic cleansing, genocides, totalitarian governance, defended Lenin, Stalin, Mao, fucking Pol Pot. Like, why would you defend Pol Pot? That was actively a full genocide in the name of decolonization that didn't do anything. Hold on, I gotta let a kitty out. I told you, you little shitter, and this is why the fucking shoe is here, you dumbass. You're little shitters. So, yeah, Benny, she came out essentially as the red fast. She's just like the other tankies. So TYT has produced far-right journalist Michael Tracy, far-right pundit Dave Rubin, pussy who can't push back against red fascist rhetoric Hassan Piker because he doesn't like debate. But he'll go out and he'll debate, Andrew Tate and people who can give him clout. But that's about it. Like, then you've got Benny, who came out with the fascist shit. You've got Anna, who's been going far right, at least in terms of like betraying a lot of earlier principles with an obvious right wing grift. It's insane. I mean, it is profitable. It is profitable. Being a right winger is profitable. The right has a fuck ton of money. But fun, I don't know about fun. It's all it's all very concerning to me. And TYT still runs around claiming that they're the home of progressives when everybody who's come out of that home has been either retarded and too much of a pussy to push back against right wingers, or actively is a far right wing bigot. Like, how can you call yourself the home of progressives anymore? Jank, Anna, how can you do that? You're not the home of progressives. You're not. You're the home of we make fascists and give them a platform. Kitten. God. Leave the fucking door alone. Quit tearing it up. So, she wants to play. Yeah, a little slash S as a tone indicator would let me know. It's something people do on Twitter, and sarcasm is, yeah, a whole deal. Come here, kitten. Come here, I gotta show you off. Come here. Come here. Come here, kitten, I gotta show you off. Yes. Looky. Looky, hey. Kitten, 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 kitten. Kitten, kitten, kitten. Hey, looky. I wanna show you off. Look, hey. Kitten. Ooh, kitty. Ooh, kitty. Oh. She doesn't like being picked up. She really doesn't. Neither does Mama. Come here, Mama. Mama, kitty. You know what? Fine. We'll just do this. Ooh. Ooh, Mama kitty. Ooh, she's so pretty. One of you two just farted. Real bad. It smells so bad in this room now. Ugh. Oh, God. Nasty. That's alright. I know how to clear this. Light up a citrus incense. These girls drop some rank shit, I'll tell you right now. It's horrendous. Oh, God, though. Yeah, that's the main thing I wanted to bring up. Like I said, it was kind of going to be a shorter one today, even though most of my short streams recently have still turned out to be an hour. But I don't really have a whole lot. I'm pretty much just waiting for 11 o'clock when Best Buy opens up so I can go buy a new computer case so that I can fix my PC. Because the issue is, I found out my motherboard stopped posting. So I can turn it on, I can have everything hooked up, all the lights will come on. It will not transfer data from my processor to anywhere or anywhere to my processor. It's just not something going on with the posting. I'm not 100% sure what that means. I'm not a tech guy, but my tech guy did tell me that it's not posting. Now I need to take it to my tech lady, possibly, and find out more about it. But I'm going to go ahead and get a new case, and uh, said tech guy is going to get me a new motherboard. Not new, I mean, it's his old one, but he just upgraded, and his isn't very old. And he said it worked fine. So I'm going to get, the problem is the reason I need a new case for it. Yeah, okay. Posting is power on self-test, and that's not good. Yeah, it wasn't posting. So, but the reason I need to get a new case is the motherboard that I'm going to be getting is an ATX motherboard, and my case is a micro ATX case. Power on self-test. Okay, that's good to know because my computer knowledge is somewhat limited. I know more than anybody at my job about computers, but less than most of my friends. Y'all in your college studies and shit. Oh, so could the issue be my power supply? It shouldn't be. That power supply's been working great, and it's a 1,000 watt power supply. The most it's ever tried to pull was 350. Oh, okay, okay. I have a fear that I may have done this myself, to be completely honest, because there was a time I was swapping some stuff out, and I accidentally bumped my case, and I had the switch on the back to where it wouldn't get power to it. I probably should have just unplugged the thing from the wall. Uh, and so I accidentally pushed the thing back and hit the power switch for the computer, turning the power back on. And I fear I may have fried something in there at that point because my computer pretty much just stopped working then. It's had the occasional time where it'll work for a little bit and then just turns itself off and freaks out. So yeah, I think I fucked it up at that point. So what we're gonna do is yeah, once 11 o'clock rolls around and Best Buy opens up, I'm going to Best Buy and I'm getting myself a ATX case because I have the money right now to be able to do that, and it won't really affect me too much. And I saw a couple that I really kind of want to get. They're like, problem is they're like 80 bucks or almost 100 bucks for one of them, but they're a nice big ATX case. It's got the tempered glass on the side, six customizable light up RGB fans, and then yes, I need to buy Diablo 4. I don't own it. I don't have the money right now to be able to do it, but I want Diablo 4. I don't like Blizzard. I don't like Activision, but I do love Diablo. I do. I've played every single game, all of them. But the yeah, it's like 80, 90 bucks for the case, and then when I can get Diablo, possibly within a week or two, with everything set up, I'll have the sound card and everything installed, my graphics card, everything put into a new case, new motherboard, upgraded processor, and then the streaming on PC can actually come back, and that's what I really look forward to. I can actually structure videos, pull stuff up as reaction instead of just sitting here on my phone doing phone streams or shorts on my phone. Although I really do kind of like making the shorts; they're pretty cool. Kitten, 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 kitten. Now I do wonder. Season starts 10/17. All right, that's 13 days before my birthday. Can I? Ooh, I can. All right. I'm gonna rip this little bit for a short and see if it works. So, yeah, just as a little deal, TYT kind of meh, Diablo 4 better than TYT. All right, I'm allowed to apparently record my screen on my phone while I'm streaming, so I can make little short segments and stuff. That's great. I like that. Gotta get rid of the kitty's nasty butt. Come here, mama. Mama kitty. No, she wants to look out a window. That's okay. Now, as an alternative for playing Diablo and stuff right now, whenever I'm the only one here, I get home from work, my roommate's at work, I will sit down and turn on my new Switch. Oh, okay, you go get yourself some food. I'm gonna be wrapping this up here in a little bit. Um, if you're gonna stick around and keep in chat, then that's one thing. But if you're gonna leave and watch something and eat your food, I will probably end up wrapping this up. Yeah, yeah. A friend of mine from uh, school, way back in high school, middle school and stuff, one of my best friends came over with his wife and gave me a Switch a couple weeks ago, and along with Breath of the Wild. So now I have a Switch with Breath of the Wild that it's, yeah, that's not what I wanted. I want this. So I pulled a little TV into my room to be able to set up right on next to my bed. And then right back here, they got me a Tears from the Kingdom Special Edition Switch that did not come with Tears from the Kingdom game. But look at that thing. Boom. Yeah, kind of a weird one. It decided, yeah, no, you don't get the game that the special edition console is for. Whoa, 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 whoa. We are not gonna try and mute Oda from the channel. The only issue I really do have with doing phone streams, like I've got my phone set up right now on a ring light, uh, but for some reason, uh, trying to put it on the ring light, yeah, if my phone touches, if my finger touches anything on my screen, it's just trying to do all sorts of crazy shit. But my kitty, meow. I want my mama kitty, 'cause she just right there. Look at you, mama. Look, it's you. That's you. Look, see? No attention paid. So like, okay, whatever. I don't care. This cat actually has self-awareness. She doesn't attack herself in the mirror when she sees it. She actually checks herself out. She knows who she is. It's kind of not normal for most cats that I've come across. They see a reflection of themselves, they freak. She's just like, oh, she'll check herself out. She'll get in front of the mirror and start like side looking and oh, look at that. You're a pretty cat. And we all talk her up. because she's a very pretty kitty, and I love her. There we go. I know, Elmo. You know what? I also need to take care of a thing. I gotta turn on a fan because I am burning an incense to get rid of the fucking smell of kitty ass. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with Breath of the Wild. I'm taking it real slow. I'm not running it like I do most games where I just jump on and fucking just run through the thing quick. I'm taking this real slow. It's also kind of rough. The game is not the kind I'm used to anymore. And so having to figure out Zelda games is it's a whole different process than playing Destiny 2 or Diablo or A Plague Tale, which again, I haven't said it for months now, but if you have access to A Plague Tale, the series, start with Innocence, because that's the first one, and then Requiem is the second one. Play them. As soon as you see a sale for Plague Tale Innocence, if you can get it. It's so good. It is a masterpiece game. I love it. I don't hear enough people talking about A Plague Tale as a series. Sadly, I don't have the second one, Requiem. I haven't played it, but I want to because the first one was so fucking good. The story was phenomenal. The gameplay was riveting, very challenging. Like it's not easy in the slightest. It's a serious fucking game. It's beast mode. And I was playing it on like normal difficulty. I wasn't playing it on easy and I wasn't playing it on hard. I was playing on normal and the game was pretty fucking rough. So playing it on hard actually seems like it's going to be a real challenge. Caleb has the Cyberpunk DLC because Caleb really likes Cyberpunk and it's fun. Like, the problem I had is my computer, right when I actually got into really playing it and trying to play it on even somewhat decent graphics, that's when my processor I realized was a real bottleneck because it was running like shit. Uh, Now, since Caleb bought new processors, going from a 2600 Ryzen 2 2600 to a Ryzen 5 5600G, that's three generation upgrade. Massive benefit. Like we don't even really get any lag or anything on Destiny anymore, and we were having to run like super low graphics, fucking everything at the minimum, running maybe 70 uh, FPS. Sometimes it would drop down to like the 40s and stuff, and it would hurt my eyeballs going from 70 to 40 FPS. Like somebody put brake pads on my eyes. It's really rough. And then yeah, playing now on a 5600G with admittedly a old 2018 motherboard, a MSI 450 Bazooka Max. Yeah, 450M or 450B Bazooka Max, whatever the fuck it is. Uh, that thing is old. He's got an old motherboard, which is the same one that I've got currently in my PC. Uh, the 50 or the 2600 uh, chip and the his graphics card was a Radeon uh, 470X, and mine's a 5 570X. Or is it a 480 and mine's a 570X? Old graphics cards, they're not very good. Uh, those are also 2018 graphics cards, and they're lower. Actually, no, they're 2016 graphics cards. They're even on the lower end of stuff. What we could do is upgrade from a 580 or a 470 to a 2060, and we'd be fucking way better off, honestly. What I'm looking at getting is going to cost a whole shitload. The alarm is only supposed to go off on weekdays. That tells me it's 9:45 though. It is 9:45 in the morning. Uh, yeah, new graphics card would really help. A good processor too is a big one. If your processor isn't in the 5000 series of Radeon, so I actually don't even remember what processor y'all got. I know that it was good when I got that computer from Steve. It's still pretty damn good now, even. So I don't know how good what's in it right now, but yeah, graphics card and processor upgrades are major. If you had a uh, if you had the right kind of slot, then getting a Threadripper would be, oh, an i7. Okay. Honestly, I got a steal for that computer. Like straight up, that computer was a fucking steal. The only thing it needed was a graphics card. Because like they're only at the i9 right now, so that's 2 generations old for your processor. Uh, they might be up to the i9 right or i10 right now. Uh, but either way, like it's still a really good processor. It's several tiers above the ones that Caleb and I have or even had. The 2600s are really fucking old. The 5600s are pretty good, but they're all the way up to the Ryzen 9000 series right now, so it's still 4 generations old. But still a massive upgrade to get the 5600. For you, I think the only real upgrade would be, yeah, any i9, maybe i10 if they're even out right now. I don't remember what Intel's chipsets are at because I don't pay attention to them. I like AMD. Even though technically Intel is considered better up until you get to the really high end stuff, like the baseline, you know, everything below Threadripper status is pretty much Intel is going to have more performance in some regards than AMD. But once you get up into those really high end processors, then yeah, AMD can really come out swinging and keep up without any real issue. I think the AMD Threadripper is the fastest processor on the market, and it's a 64 core processor, so and they've actually got it set up where you can run 2 Threadrippers in one PC setup, so you've got 2 processors that are linking off of each other to have 128 cores running one PC. They're insane. I don't think anybody really needs that unless you're like a game developer or live television editor. Oh, well, kitten's pissing off mama. What else is new? So yeah, I'm kind of hoping that this yeah, animators are actually getting away with running uh 12 core processor stuff right now. They don't even need. No, I mean, yeah, if you're like a Disney Pixar animator or something like that, yeah, you're probably running Threadripper shit, doing like live action One Piece and shit like that. Yeah, you're probably up there with the Threadripper setups. But most like YouTube animators and shit like that, no, you can run a lot of good animation program and stuff just on a regular 12 core processor. It's not a huge deal. I talked to quite a few animators back when I was on Twitter and shit, and yeah, some of them were running like my 2600 processor. It would take them like 4 months to complete a project because I mean it takes a bit, but yeah, these if I could if I had one computer wish granted, I would probably have a Threadripper set up with a NVIDIA top-end NVIDIA graphics card, which I don't remember what their number setting is at right now, or a top-end Radeon 6 or 7890X, I think is what they're at, 7890X Ti. And then yeah, I would never have an issue running any games. I could run Destiny 2 and Diablo 4 and fucking everything. Wow. That that's incredible. I just want an upgraded computer. I want a PC that actually works. Because, yeah, I really do like playing with my Switch, and it's a lot of fun to just run in there and start swinging away as Link, playing Breath of the Wild, using the crazy powers and shit that you get now. Fucking true. Just find a genie that can give me a goddamn computer wish. But no, like, yeah, as soon as I can get a PC up and running, I'm supposed to get it up and running later today, I think, because a computer guy is going to come over to play D&D. Because we've been running a Avatar: The Last Airbender themed One Piece, or not One Piece, yeah, Avatar themed D&D campaign, similar in the vein to the One Piece campaign that I was running, which was inspired, yes, by Rustage doing One Piece D&D on his Twitch with my favorite YouTuber, Teching 101. Mm, that's something I can go ahead and jump into since I'm already on stream and actually have people watching. Uh, One Piece and why I think it is. I don't have a magical genie to actually grant wishes. I can have hope, but yeah, I don't actually get I don't get wishes. They don't get granted. That'd be cool though. One Piece, why it's the greatest anime of all time and why everybody who is even remotely left-leaning should watch it. All right. So, for one, the show has so many positive themes in it. All right. And this is just going to be kind of a short rundown. The show has a lot of positive themes, such as the power of believing in your friends, loving yourself, having full confidence that you can take care of what you need to benefit your friends, and they can lean on you to for help, and you can lean on them for help. Full trust, uh, freedom. The overall thing with most of the major characters in One Piece is wanting complete freedom to not be oppressed by the government, by other individuals, the ability to go out and do what they want, generally, so long as they're not harming other people. Straight anarchist philosophy. It really is. They don't want to be oppressed. They want to be able to go and do their thing. Like Luffy just wants to go out and have adventures and have a fun time. He's called a pirate because that's just what he labeled himself, I guess. Nami is a thief, but he's not out there like pillaging and plundering towns and shit like that. He mostly goes around and finds other islands and shit, makes friends on it, and then they're like, "Hey, our government's oppressing us," and he's like, "All right, fuck that," and he beats the shit out of people. Alabasta is a weird one because the government was being overthrown by somebody far worse than the current system of government. So Luffy went in and saved the island from Crocodile, but he technically protected a monarchy, but the monarchy was far superior to anything that was going to happen under Crocodile's regime. So that's kind of one of those deals where he's like, I don't really like monarchs, but Vivi's my friend, and she'll probably, we can make this work. There's a theory that Alabasta is going to become a democracy. They went and saved Water 7, which is a democracy. They went and they fought the world government to save one of their friends. Like there's so many positive things in One Piece. There's a lot of negative stuff, including Oda's sexism. The author Oda Ichiro. he's kind of sexist in a decent number of ways. However, I will not allow for one of the points that I saw on a Reddit post to stand, and it was saying that women are relegated to be weaker characters, and they pointed to Boa Hancock, and you cannot look at Boa Hancock as a weaker character. She is incredibly fucking powerful. Their reasoning was because, spoiler alert for people who haven't watched the show, gotten up this far, but Boa Hancock was confronted by 4 Marine battleships, along with, on the other end of the fight, a Emperor of the Sea, one of the 4 strongest pirates, along with 3 of his commanders. And she took everybody, all of them, except for 1 Marine and the Yonko himself. This entire scene was meant to show 2 things simultaneously. 1, how ungodly powerful Boa Hancock actually is. She turned thousands of Marines and pirates that were trying to capture her into stone. The Yonko commanders, the commanders under Blackbeard, who showed up. Okay, it might have been just 2. Yeah, because Lafitte's not there, Aokiji's not there. They had Valo Pizarro, Vasco shot, San Juan Wolf. That's 5. There were some left behind, but yeah, 2, maybe 3 Yonko commanders. A majority of the, like, all of the regular riffraff pirates that were on the crew, all of the Marines, including 4 vice admirals, only 1 captain didn't get defeated by Boa, and Blackbeard himself didn't get defeated by Boa. This was to show how strong Boa is. All those people she beat by her damn self. Thousands of people. And simultaneously, it was meant to show how strong Kobe and Blackbeard actually are, because Kobe resisted being turned to stone by Boa, and Blackbeard managed to defeat Boa. So, if you actually look at the power scaling that Oda vaguely does, he doesn't even really like power scalers, but he does do a little bit of it of himself, because he kind of has to. Boa Hancock could sit toe-to-toe with an admiral. Admirals are really fucking strong. I've always thought they were slightly weaker than Yonko, because if you think about it, the way that the world government's balance of power works, you've got the world government with the 3 admirals plus the 7 warlords of the sea there to balance out the 4 emperors, and that's it. So you got 7 versus 4, and one of those 7 is a man called the strongest swordsman in the world, Dracula Mihawk. Another one of them was Boa Hancock herself. But no, this woman stood toe-to-toe with an admiral and his crew and 4 vice admirals plus 4 battleships worth of Marines plus a bunch of riffraff plus Kobe, and only got beaten by Blackbeard. Everybody else she beat. Everybody. Kobe survived. Blackbeard survived. Boa only managed to get away from this because somebody else showed up, but that's a whole different part of the deal. She could stand toe-to-toe with Aokiji. She may not win, but she could stand toe-to-toe. It would be a high-diff fight for both of them, I think. Boa Hancock is incredibly powerful. However, there's also the flip side of, yes, Oda does have Vivi, who needed protecting, Nami, who's a glass cannon, but Nami's also really fucking strong, so you can't underestimate her. Robin is also incredibly fucking strong. No, they don't. The complaint of they never take out the top tiers is a thing there. But Robin is an archaeologist. She's not a mainline fighter. She's a historian. Nami is a navigator. She's not a frontline fighter. The frontline fighters are the cook, Sanji, Zoro, whose entire job is being a swordsman, Luffy, whose entire job is punching people, Jinbei, who's the helmsman, but also a whale shark fishman and a master of fishman karate. So he's definitely a fighter. And they're the ones who take out the top tier contenders. Everybody else, other men on the crew, Chopper and Frankie and Usopp and Brooke, they don't take out the top tiers. They're relegated to lower tier fighters and fodder, along with Nami, who, even though Nami isn't considered a top tier fighter and doesn't normally take top tiers, she did fight Ulti and hurt Ulti quite a bit, who is a dinosaur, an ancient zone with insane recovery and stamina. Oh, I know, that'd be a great job. That's Luffy's entire job. He goes, I want meat. You, Sanji, make me food. Oh, look, enemy over there, somebody I can punch. All right, let's do it. And that's Luffy's whole fucking job. It's fucking great. So yeah, there are some complaints about the sexism in One Piece. The way that Oda draws women. I mean, he's been pretty clear about it. He's like, it's how I like to draw. It's how I like to draw women. I like big tits and skinny waists. Get over it. I'm like, okay, I can kind of look at that and go, that's a little shallow and sexist, but at the same time, like, okay, the overall themes that the man puts forth are way the fuck better than the mild sexism that he has. And let's face it, Japan has a sexism problem. They really fucking do. Oda at least was largely uh, respectful of age distinctions. If you look at original drawings of Nami from before the time skip, she's wearing fucking t-shirts. She's moderately proportioned. She's not this fucking eye candy consistently. She's not drawn up for the heavy sexual appeal because she's 17 years old. She's 17 when the story starts. After the time skip, that's when she's coming out with fucking hip-hugging bell bottoms and bikini tops, just constantly. Long flowing hair, just showing off her body. When she's 19, after 2 years. So as an adult. This trend happened a lot. Even Nico Robin back in before the time skip, even though she was 28, I believe, before the time skip, she wasn't really drawn like sexually. I mean, she still looked good. Nico Robin in the cowboy hat was a thing. That's look. But yeah, she didn't get any sort of sexualization until Fishman Island, like the Return to Sabaody, and then she's coming in with the fucking uh not even a real like what I guess it's a kind of skirt, but it's just like essentially a fucking bed sheet wrapped around her waist, tied to where one leg can be exposed, and a uh, midriff exposing jacket that she wears. You can just look up Nico Robin pre and post time skip pictures for that and see the difference. So he did a lot to make sure that the sexualization of characters was kept down. Even now, Perona, people be like, Perona was a sexualized teenager. No, Perona was like 25 in Thriller Bark. She's not a teenager. She's just a ghost girl. And she was mildly sexualized, but then he actually reversed the trend and put her in this long gothic, old school gothic attire after the time skip. So I mean, you kind of gotta look at it. The worst one I could point to is Rebecca from Dressrosa, because she just wears essentially a chainmail bikini, and she is a 16-year-old girl. She is hypersexualized, and that is not okay. Age of consent in Japan is like 14 or 15, but it's still not okay. You don't need to sexualize a 16-year-old. No, 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 no. She's drawn as an adult, and then her age is stated that she's 16. And it's like, oh my god, Oda, what the fuck are you doing? So that's probably the worst example that I could see of Oda having a character be sexualized that's not someone who should be, but it's one out of like hundreds of characters. Hundreds. Hundreds. So you can't really look at him sussy in that regard. You can look at him a little sussy because, I mean, you got like Viola and you got Vivi and you got that. Okay, no, I lied. I'm sorry. I always forget about this one. The happiness punch scene in Alabasta when Nami is still 17. This one is a little creepy because Vivi was also 17. They're in a bath. Uh, uh, yeah, they're all doing the Japanese baths, how they've got the communal bathing, but they're segregated by sex. Nami, Phoebe, and I guess maybe Robin, but there were the women over in the women's bath, and there's just a little wall that separates the men and women's bath. So the king of Alabasta is like, hey, let's go peek on the girls. His fucking daughter is one of the underage girls on the other side, so the boys climb up the deal. And Nami's just like, oh, okay, you want to fucking see? All right, this will cost you 100,000 berries apiece, and just fucking drops her towel. Calls it the happiness punch. One of the It's meant to be played up for laughs. It's also kind of a little yikesy when you realize, yeah, she's 17, Luffy's 17, Chopper is 15, Usopp is 17, Nami, or not Nami, Sanji is 19, Zoro is 19, King Cobra is in his 60s, and one of the other people there is his daughter that he's peeking on. Kind of creepy on King Cobra's part. Actually, really creepy on his part. But overall, you got to take the overall bit with One Piece and go, okay, there is some sexism in it, and that can be addressed. But overall, the themes of the show about freedom and fighting oppression and accepting people as they are and for who they want to be. You got Ivankov, who is the queen of Okama land, came up with Nukama Kimpo, has the hormone fruit, can change people's biological sex completely around in a matter of moments, can make people happy in the body they are in, and nobody hates Ivankov. Nobody hates Ivankov, except for Crocodile. So, if we want to take a look at the overall story of One Piece, it is to be noted that a vast majority of the themes and topics that are touched on in One Piece are very much positive, even lefty leaning, like leftist leaning or outright leftist themes. Luffy is an anarchist. He just wants to be free and to be able to do what he wants as long as it doesn't hurt people. Outside of the punching them, he punches people to make sure that other people are free and can do what they want, so long as it's not hurting other people. It's not even a might make right thing. He just fights to defend. He's not going through and punching people and being like, you're not going to oppress, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that because I say so. People come up to him, they're like, can you help us? We're being oppressed. Here's fucking half of a grilled cheese sandwich. And this man will go, okay, let me go fight the world government. You gave me half a grilled cheese sandwich? All right, let's go fight. That's not unfortunate. The Bible's a shit story, and One Piece is phenomenal. I love it. Animes that are super short have kind of gotten on my nerves a little bit. It's part of the reason I started liking My Hero Academia. It's pretty long. It's not super long. It's not One Piece long. But like Case Closed, like bunch of long running anime. Some of the shorter run ones are all right. Like Attack on Titan was like 200 something episodes. Dragon Ball Super is 139 episodes, but it's still going in the manga and it's getting more animation and they've got all the movies that have come out and all of the movies for Super are canon. So, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of stuff in anime that the shorter ones just aren't really holding it together anymore. You'll get 13 episodes and the story doesn't even actually wrap up. It kind of sucks. So I'm on the I'm on the give me an actual series. One that is 2 seasons that I will recommend. Promise Neverland. Seriously, get into that one. That looks so fucking good. Promise Neverland. Uh, It's only 2 seasons, so you only got like 20 something episodes, maybe 40. I don't remember. It's kind of short, but it's really good. Uh, Jujutsu Kaisen is also on season 2. But yeah, no, I do recommend One Piece. And You're Gonna Be a Pumpkin, I've been streaming for an hour and 5 minutes, and this was supposed to be a very short 15 to 20-minute stream, so we've tripled the amount of time, you know, tripled the amount of time that I've intended to spend streaming. All right. So, I hope y'all have a good one. Take care. Good night, Oda. You have a great sleep. Um, I'm going to wrap up some stuff here and then get ready to go to Best Buy. Take care, y'all, and have a wonderful time.